Your Business with Dr. Elaine is brought to you by Your Business International and Kazambi Law, solicitors and baristas in Jamaica, Toronto, Barbados, and New York.
Hello, and welcome to Your Business, or insightful business conversations which are designed to help you grow your business through innovation, collaboration, and global thinking. Now, each week at this hour, we speak with the bold innovators who are adding value to our community. We speak with forward-thinking entrepreneurs who are creating new pathways for themselves and new job opportunities for their employees. And we partner with you to take your products and services to global markets. And we are on air at WAVS 1170 and online at yourbusinessinternational.com. I'm Elaine Williams-Morgan, and this week we talk innovation. Now, let me share with you what William Pollard says about innovation. Without change, there's no innovation. There is no creativity. There's no incentive for improvement. Those people who initiate change will have a better chance of managing the change that is inevitable. So we're all called upon to be innovators, to be change makers, to be doing things and creating things. And joining us to talk about their business and their innovations are Mr. Gordon Dempster and Miss Christina Budhoo of Outland Hurders. And they're creating cheese infused with all sorts of low-hanging products: pimento, Scotch bonnet pepper, Blue Mountain coffee, and much, much more. Welcome, Christina, and welcome, Gordon. It is so good to have you both on the program.
Thank you.
We're happy to be here as well.
Okay. Now, before we get into the business, why don't you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves? Christina?
Okay. First, if I had to choose one word to describe myself, I guess it would be that I'm a creative. That's my strong suit. I love creating whatever it may be, whether it's food related or art related. It doesn't matter. So I would say that definitely that's a word that I would use to describe myself in a nutshell. I'm a very creative person, and that really dictates how I live my life and pretty much the business that we've created so far.
Excellent.
Well, as Christina said, creative, I think that's one thing that drew us together, that we're both creative individuals. I'd like to say that I'm structured as well. I like to see things come to life. So I like to put pieces together, and that's how I see my creativity, structured and putting pieces together. So
Okay.
That's how I describe myself.
Sounds good. So we have creativity and structure, and then we have business. Awesome. Now tell us a little bit about Outland Hurders. How long have you been in business, and why did you start this business?
Well, we've been in business for about 6 months, actually. But it's been an idea that's been in the work for a couple of years. So although it's just been 6 months, it's more than that because of all the steps we had to take to become the persons we are today.
The business.
All right. Yeah, and the business. About the business now, Outland Hurders is a creamery that focuses on making cheeses. We generally actually focus on incorporating local Jamaican produce in all the cheeses that we make. So as you said, we have a cheese with Scotch bonnet and pimento, which is our Jamaican jack. It's filled with a jerk spice. We have our half and half, which uses Jamaica chocolate nut, the nut that you usually use in your teas, and the coffee as well. We also have, for example, a red maroon, which is sorrel and red label wine. We also experiment a lot with different things. So we have experimental cheeses that we actually create. So it's all really about local produce and the creativity that can be found in Jamaica and maximizing what we have here.
Awesome. So we're talking about pimento cheese, Scotch bonnet cheese. I mean, I've never heard of that before. That sounds really interesting. And cheese really, for me, sounds like an unusual area of business in the Jamaican context. How big is the local industry, and what kind of competition do you have in the market?
The local industry for cheese making in the context that we make it is small to almost non-existent. There are a few cheesemakers here who do cheese making like a hobby. And then there is one dairy in Trelawney and they make goat cheeses. They make fresh goat cheeses, but we are the only aged artisan cheesemakers on the island right now. And besides, the classic Jamaican cheese, which is a processed cheese, other than that, the industry is quite small.
So you basically have a free run in the market. You have no major competition for the kind of cheese that you're making.
Yeah, that's correct.
Just the international market.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're getting competition from the international market.
Yeah, primarily.
Primarily. Okay, so you have been making cheese for a while now. And what's your global reach like? How are you growing your business? And what's your global market like?
Primarily, our market is mostly actually when we decided what our business model would, we geared it towards tourism and the tourist sector, hotels and restaurants and bistros. But at the same time, we've actually had a surprisingly positive response from the local market. We have a lot of persons who are actually interested in what we're producing. So in terms of our model, it's still growing and changing because we have a more dynamic business model in terms of how we want to work. Because right now, for an economy like Jamaica, growing a business is challenging, especially if you're going with the old school concept where you have like a set business and you're hoping for clients to come in and, you're just waiting and just have a product and you put it on the shelf. That's not how we see it. We see it as one that is engaging, interacting, more about quality produced and mass. So just creating premium products where it meets the target market, where the target market, and we meet the target market where they are and they meet us where we are, and we're very transparent. So our business model is geared toward transparency, which is really what we are about. And I think it'll have a more positive impact on the international market where a person can say, okay, so we can say Outland Hurders on Instagram, we can see the process. It's not pretentious, it's just something that we love and we do our best to put it out in the best way that we can. And we hope that people love it because we see it as an art form as well. So it's what we create and it's for who it's for. So
Okay, so I'm hearing you're bringing your creativity and your structure all at once to what you're creating in terms of the exciting cheese that we're hearing about. Guys, more and more businesses are placing an emphasis not just on the financial return, and there's great emphasis now on sustainability. So businesses are focused more on the social impact and the environment. Talk to us about the importance of building sustainability into your business model and how you at Outland Hurders are doing that.
Okay. It's funny you should bring up that topic of sustainability because when Gordon and I, before we even decided that we were going to become cheesemakers, we knew that we wanted to own a business. We wanted it to be food related. And we always knew that we wanted it to be a sustainable business. So a lot of the reason behind us using the mostly local ingredients is the fact that we want to harness what sustainability is and showcase that through our business pretty much. So we support local farmers and we use what we grow here in Jamaica. And that's the biggest push of how we can actually get that across. Besides that, as our business grows, we are looking to really delving into more like deeper environmental issues where the dairy sector comes in, since, we are indirectly or to some extent linked to the dairy sector through our cheese making, specifically cow dairy. And the issue with that is, the fact that greenhouse gases are linked to the cow's manure and how that is really handled can affect, in the long run, the earth. Mm-hmm. So what we are looking to do in the future is to actually use the cow manure as a source of energy. And that community we created with these dairy farmers, we plan to use that as an avenue to reach out to them and say, hey, let's go ahead, gather, the manure and use that to power equipment and so on. We haven't been able to, get there yet, but we're working on it. As we continue to grow, we'll get there.
I'm not more close to home. Actually, the thing that we're doing right now is just the way that we actually package and present our products. we use paper bags, etc. Because we don't really believe in using plastic bags and so on. Because as you said, we're sustainable. So everything is about what helps the environment, what impacts the environment in a positive way, not wasting what we have here, and giving farmers an incentive to keep doing what they're doing, knowing that they can actually make a profit from what they're selling. So our approach is to be fair. So there's a thing that affects farmers in Jamaica in terms of what is in season. So for example, if coffee, there's a surplus, they get bare minimum. They don't get what the work that they put in. They don't get anything from actually what the efforts that they put out. So generally, we believe in standardized costing in terms of buying our produce because we factor in cost of production, etc. So it's not about, hey, can we make the most money right now? It's not about, we can get a discount from this farmer because there's a great surplus in the market for peppers or pimentos. It's really about being fair so the economy and so everybody can actually earn, not just becoming rich and wealthy because, we can get $20 off these peppers because peppers are in surplus, and then ultimately putting that farmer out of business because he sees no incentive in growing peppers because he's paying $50 to produce these peppers and he's getting $10 for a dozen.
Absolutely impressive, Gordon.
Yeah.
Absolutely impressive. So it's not all about me. It's about others. It's about the environment. It's about the social impact. And I'm loving this because you're not just making the cheese so you can make some money, but you're also considering the other elements that will make your business truly sustainable. But you must be sustainable, but you must also make some money. So I'm going to ask you the next question. Are you making money from your business?
Yes, currently we're actually earning through sales and actually dealing with face-to-face clients and then dealing with hotels as well and doing events. So we're actually earning a good profit margin.
A good return.
I would like to say that it's at a stage where we actually can able to pocket funds, but we're still growing. So all our earnings are just go back into the business. So we are earning, but at the same time, we are reinvested.
Absolutely
so
wonderful.
Are invested in expansions.
Okay. Now, what would you say to a young person with a great business idea, but perhaps not the money or the courage to start their business?
Well, I'd tell them to focus on the courage because if you have a great idea, in the beginning, you don't need money. In the very beginning stage, you wouldn't need money. What you need is the courage. Because, if you are very committed to what you're doing, the money will come and your brain will work on actually getting your goals in line. So I'd tell them to work on the courage, just get started.
I'm loving this.
Then, just get started. And from there, everything will fall in place.
Great. What are your final words to our listeners as they listen to our conversation this evening?
You should not be afraid of failure. So I think that would be the final takeaway just from listening to Gordon here. I think that most people, especially young people, they're afraid of failure. And so they might have an idea in mind, but they're thinking, it's probably not going to work out. And maybe they're even afraid of people saying, that's a stupid idea. But you can't always listen to people. You have to really work on what you want to do. If it's something that makes you happy and if it's something that you love, then you don't need to listen to what people say because you're going to get there. You have to be self-driven. So I think that's a pretty important takeaway for anyone looking to get into business or any young person. You have to dismiss the voice in your head that's saying, hey, you're going to fail, or hey, you can't do this, or it's a stupid idea. And you also have to, listen to what your
inner voice is telling you.
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. Wow, Christina and Gordon, this has been really good. Impressive.
Yeah. And one last point from me. Even if you hear the voice say you're going to fail, what you also you should be able to do is say, so what?
Okay.
You understand? That is,
and so
embracing failure is also key.
All right.
Yeah. Just say so what to your doubts and just keep moving forward.
Wow, I'm loving this. And guys, where can our listeners get some of your wonderful cheese? Where can they find you? How can they contact you?
Well, we're very active on social media. So they can always contact us on Instagram at outlandherders.ja. We're also on Facebook at Outland Herders. And they can also email us at outlandherdersja@gmail.com. And we're actually working on our website right now. So but there are multiple ways to contact us. You can also call 425-2912, a Jamaica area code. So and besides that, we'll be at events. So once they are following us on social media, we're always updating and letting our customers know where we'll be. And that's how you'll be able to sample our cheeses or purchase if you wish.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Christina Budhoo and Gordon Dempster, for taking the time to share your story with us this evening, and perhaps for inspiring some young man or some young woman somewhere in the world to start their business. And thank you, listeners, for joining us. And I leave you once again with the words of William Pollard, who says, "Without change, there is no innovation, no creativity, and no incentive for improvement. If you initiate change, you will have a better chance of managing the change that is inevitable." This has been Your Business, powerful, insightful business conversations to help you grow your business through innovation, collaboration, and global thinking. And we're right here on WAVS 1170 and at yourbusinessinternational.com. I'm Elaine Williams-Morgan. Join me again next time for more of Your Business.
Your Business with Dr. Elaine, a Nex-G media production, was brought to you by Kazambi Law, solicitors and baristas in Jamaica, Toronto, Barbados, and New York, and Your Business International.